Ladies and gentlemen, let me begin by saying, what a gift it is to wake up with breath in your lungs, a beating heart, and a real chance to begin again. Each morning, you stand at a crossroads. One road leads to progress, discipline, and fulfillment. The other, to excuses, distractions, and wasted time. And that's why what you say to yourself in the morning matters, because those words become thoughts. Thoughts become actions, and actions, well, they build your destiny. So today, I want to share with you 5 things you should say to yourself every morning. Say them with conviction, say them with purpose, and watch how your days begin to change. I am responsible. These 3 words, when spoken with conviction, form the very foundation of personal growth, success, and lasting change. It's not just a phrase, it's a philosophy, a declaration, a way of life. Now, we live in a world where it's easy to pass the buck. It's easy to blame the government, the economy, your upbringing, your parents, your boss, the weather, or even the traffic. Excuses are everywhere, and they're convenient. They let us off the hook, at least temporarily. But here's the truth. The moment you start handing away responsibility, you start handing away power. And the moment you take back control over your results, your destiny, and your life. Responsibility doesn't mean everything that happens is your fault. That's not the point. Life will throw curveballs. There will be setbacks, disappointments, things that blindside you, things you didn't ask for and didn't deserve. But even in the face of all that, you are still responsible for how you respond. That's the key. You can't always choose what happens, but you can choose what to do about it. That's where your power lies. When you say, I am responsible, you begin to shift from victim to victor. You stop focusing on what's wrong and start focusing on what's possible. You stop waiting for someone else to fix your problems, and you roll up your sleeves. You build a solution. You grow into the kind of person who can handle it. Let me tell you something important. No one is coming to rescue you, and that's not a bad thing. That's freedom. Because if you were waiting on someone else, you'd be stuck until they showed up. But if you are responsible, then you can act now. You don't need permission to improve. You don't need approval to begin. You are responsible. So you are free. Responsibility shows up in small things first. Are your shoes clean? Is your desk organized? Do you follow through on what you said you'd do? Do you show up on time or early? Do you keep your word even when it's uncomfortable? Because here's what I've learned. If you can't handle small responsibilities, you'll never be trusted with big ones. Success doesn't show up in one big moment. It reveals itself in the little habits, repeated daily, over time. Think about your health. If you're out of shape, the moment you take responsibility is the moment everything changes. No more blaming your metabolism, your schedule, or your genetics. Just say, I am responsible. That doesn't mean it's easy. It just means you've accepted that it's your job to change it. And now, you're in motion. You've taken your power back. Same with your finances. You don't need to win the lottery. You don't need a raise to get started. You need responsibility. Can you say, every dollar that comes into my hands, I will manage it with wisdom? That's responsibility. That's where wealth begins. Not with income, but with ownership of your decisions. Relationships, same thing. You can't control other people, but you can control how you show up. Are you bringing patience, kindness, truth, and respect into the room? Are you investing or just demanding? When you say, I am responsible, you stop keeping score of what others owe you, and you start measuring what you can give. That's maturity, that's leadership. Now I understand, this mindset isn't always comfortable. It's easier to complain than to change, but there's no power in comfort. And if you want a life that's exceptional, you've got to take exceptional responsibility. Not partial responsibility, not conditional responsibility, full responsibility. If your attitude is poor today, say, I am responsible. If your habits are sloppy, say, I am responsible. If your results aren't where you want them to be, say, I am responsible. And don't say it with guilt. Say it with strength, because this isn't about self-blame, it's about self-empowerment. You're not here to punish yourself. You're here to lead yourself. You see, responsibility is not a burden, it's a privilege. It means you're the captain now. You steer the ship. You choose the course, and yes, storms will come, but you don't need perfect weather to reach your destination. you need skill, you need discipline. And above all, you need to remember every morning before anything else, I am responsible. Today matters, 3 simple words, but behind them lies a powerful truth that separates those who drift through life from those who live it with intention and purpose. You see, the greatest danger in life is not that we aim too high, and miss it's that we aim too low, or don't aim at all. And that often starts with the lie that today doesn't really count, that we'll get serious tomorrow, that next week will be different, that we'll start after the holiday, after the weekend, after the kids grow up, after things slow down. But let me tell you something, tomorrow is not guaranteed, and yesterday is gone. All you have is today, and that's more than enough if you choose to value it. We live in a world obsessed with big breaks, big leaps, big moments, but the truth is, greatness is never built in one day, it's built daily. Every success story you admire is just a collection of well-used days stacked on top of each other. And every failure, it's usually a pattern of neglected days that quietly compounded into disappointment. So when you say today matters, you're reminding yourself that the future doesn't begin tomorrow. It begins now, right now, with what you choose to think, to say, to do, and to become. Now I know, it's easy to underestimate the value of a single day. You tell yourself, it's just one workout missed, just one budget blown, just one promise broken, just one more hour wasted. But days are like bricks. You may not see the structure clearly at first, but brick by brick, you are building your life. And the quality of your future depends on the quality of the bricks you lay today. If you want to build a strong, stable, fulfilling life, you don't wait for the weekend to show up. You don't wait for motivation to arrive. You get to work today. You wake up and ask, how can I honor this day with my effort, my discipline, my presence? Think about this. Habits don't form in the future. Goals don't get reached in the abstract. Nothing gets built someday. Everything happens in the now. Your consistency doesn't come from intensity. It comes from recognizing the importance of ordinary days, the quiet ones, the ones where no one's watching, the ones where you don't feel like doing it. That's where champions are made. That's where legacies are built, right in the middle of the ordinary, in the space where most people are asleep, mentally, emotionally, or spiritually. When you say today matters, you stop waiting for life to be easier. You stop waiting for the calendar to turn or the conditions to be perfect. You realize that this asterisk is the moment you've been given, and what you do with it determines where you go next. Every decision you make today is either moving you closer to your goals or pulling you further away. There is no neutral, there is no pause button on your potential. You're either planting seeds or letting weeds grow. Let's make it practical. If you want to be financially free, then every dollar you handle today matters. Are you saving, investing, being wise, or are you indulging, avoiding, pretending tomorrow will fix today's mistakes? If you want better health, what you eat today matters. Whether you move your body today matters. Your body doesn't care about your intentions. It responds to your decisions. The compound effect never stops working. It's either working for you or against you. In your relationships, today matters. Did you listen to your spouse today? Did you speak encouragement to your children? Did you pick up the phone and call that friend you've been meaning to reconnect with? Relationships don't crumble overnight. They drift slowly when we start believing that today is just another day. But it's not. It's the day you can restore connection, heal old wounds, or simply say, I see you. You matter. In your career, today matters. Are you showing up as the best version of yourself, even if you think no one's noticing? Are you learning something new, challenging yourself, going the extra mile? Or are you just clocking in, checking boxes, and waiting for someone to hand you an opportunity? Opportunities don't usually knock. They're revealed when you're already in motion doing the work day after day. Your mindset today matters. Your attitude today matters. Your level of gratitude, your level of focus, your ability to control your emotions, all of it matters. Because every day you practice a mindset, it becomes more automatic. Every day you allow negativity, laziness, or distraction to rule, you're training yourself to default to that behavior. And every day you choose clarity, discipline, and joy, you're setting a powerful standard for the days to come. Today matters is more than a reminder. It's a personal challenge, a declaration that you won't let your life slip by in a blur of someday thinking. You're not just going to show up, you're going to show up fully. You're going to make this day count, not because it's convenient, not because it's easy, but because it's the only day you truly have. I am capable of more. This is not wishful thinking. It's not an empty affirmation. It's a statement of truth. A truth most people forget because they've gotten used to living below their potential. Every day, too many people settle. They settle for less energy, less joy, less growth, less impact, because they've been conditioned to believe that what they've got is all there is. But deep down, if you listen closely, there's a voice inside you that knows you're capable of more. That voice may be quiet, buried under layers of fear, failure, and fatigue, but it's there, and when you choose to say those words aloud, I am capable of more, you begin to wake that voice up again. We all live inside a comfort zone, and for many, that zone is reinforced by years of routine, limitation, and small thinking. But comfort zones aren't prisons. We choose them. We build their walls. And the key to stepping beyond them is found in this single idea. You are more than your current results. Your past does not define your potential. Your current circumstances do not reflect your true capacity. They only reflect your current standards, your current habits, and your current beliefs, and all of those can be changed. When you declare, I am capable of more, you give yourself permission to grow. You give yourself the right to evolve, to stretch, to fail, and still try again. It's not arrogance, it's awareness. Awareness that your mind can still learn, your body can still strengthen, your character can still deepen. You are not finished, not even close. The most dangerous lie you can believe is that you've already done your best, that where you are is the highest level you can reach. That's the kind of thinking that keeps people stuck in jobs they don't love, relationships that don't grow, and habits that slowly destroy them. You must learn to challenge the idea that just because something is hard, it's not for you. Growth is uncomfortable by design. That's how you know it's working. Muscles don't grow without resistance. Minds don't grow without challenge, and lives don't change without effort. So when the discomfort shows up, don't shrink back, lean in. That feeling of stretch, that moment of doubt, that fear of failure, it's not a stop sign. It's a signal that you're right on the edge of your next breakthrough. You are capable of more in your discipline, more in your consistency, more in your courage. You are capable of leading, of creating, of overcoming. You are capable of building a life that looks different from the one you were handed. But to do that, you must raise your standards. What you tolerate becomes your normal. If you've been tolerating laziness, negative thinking, excuses, and low effort, then that's what you'll keep getting. But when you raise the bar and say, I was made for more, everything begins to shift. It doesn't mean you'll get there overnight. It doesn't mean you won't struggle, but it does mean you stop settling. You stop saying, this is just the way I am. No, it's the way you've been. It's not the way you have to be. Change starts when you stop defending your limitations and start pursuing your possibilities. I am capable of more also means you don't let failure define you. Just because something didn't work doesn't mean you don't have what it takes. It just means you need to grow, adjust, refine. Every successful person you admire has failed, probably more than you. The difference is, they believed they were capable of more, so they kept going. They didn't stop at rejection. They didn't quit when it got hard. They used the struggle as fuel. That's the mindset that moves mountains. It also means you stop comparing your journey to everyone else's. You're not here to outdo anyone. You're here to outgrow who you were yesterday. If someone else is ahead, applaud them, but don't envy them. Just remind yourself, if they can grow, I can grow. If they can change, I can change. If they can overcome, so can I. Comparison kills potential. But belief unlocks it. You are not limited by your age, your background, or your current skill set. You are limited only by your willingness to stretch. Most people use 5% of what they're capable of. 5% of their creativity, 5% of their focus, 5% of their boldness, and then they wonder why life feels flat. But if you wake up every day and say, I am capable of more, and then back it up with even one more ounce of effort, one more hour of discipline, one more step forward, you will begin to experience a new level of life, because you've tapped into something most people ignore. The power of possibility, the power of progress, the power that comes from realizing that your best work, your best health, your best impact is still ahead of you. I choose discipline over regret. These are not just words to say in the mirror. They are a declaration of intent, a line drawn in the sand between who you are and who you want to become. Every single day, life gives you a choice. You can choose comfort now or strength later, ease now or excellence later, indulgence now or integrity later, and what determines the outcome is whether you choose discipline or you choose regret. Now, let's be honest, discipline isn't glamorous. It doesn't come with applause. No one throws you a party because you woke up on time, skipped the junk food, read the book, or made the hard phone call. Discipline lives in quiet moments, invisible to the world but critical to your future. It's when the alarm rings and you get up, not because it feels good, but because you made a promise to yourself. It's when you turn off the distractions and get to work, not because you want to, but because your vision demands it. Discipline is doing what's necessary, especially when you don't feel like it. Regret, on the other hand, is sneaky. It doesn't show up right away. It waits. It creeps in slowly after days, weeks, or years of avoiding the hard choices. It comes when the opportunity has passed, when the window has closed, when the damage has already been done, and then you look back and say, if only I had started earlier, if only I had tried harder, if only I had stayed consistent. Regret is the price you pay when discipline was too high a cost in the moment. But here's the truth. Either way, you're going to pay. You'll either pay the price of discipline now or the price of regret later. One is temporary, the other can last a lifetime. Discipline weighs ounces, regret weighs tons. When you say, I choose discipline over regret, you're making a daily decision to do what needs to be done, regardless of mood or circumstance. You're choosing to delay gratification, not because pleasure is wrong, but because purpose is better. You're saying yes to structure, yes to accountability, yes to consistency, not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. In your health, this means showing up to exercise even when it's raining, even when it's inconvenient, even when the couch is calling your name. It means preparing real food when fast food would be faster. It means going to bed instead of scrolling one more hour. These decisions don't feel heroic in the moment, but over time, they build strength, energy, and confidence. And you won't look back one day wishing you had skipped the workouts. You'll look back grateful that you didn't. In your finances, choosing discipline means living below your means. It means saying no to that impulse buy so you can say yes to long-term freedom. It means budgeting, tracking, saving, investing, small steps that compound into wealth. Regret doesn't show up on the day you swipe the card. It shows up years later, when you realize you have nothing to show for all the money that passed through your hands. In your personal growth, discipline means reading the book instead of binge, watching another series. It means listening to wisdom, even when it challenges you. It means taking time to reflect, to plan, to work on yourself, not just when you're inspired, but when you're tired, frustrated, or distracted. It means making deposits into your mind and your character day after day, so that when life tests you, and it will, you've already built the resilience to respond. In your relationships, discipline means choosing to forgive instead of holding a grudge. It means having the tough conversation instead of avoiding conflict. It means listening when you'd rather talk, showing up when you'd rather walk away, loving when it's not convenient. Real connection is built through disciplined actions, not just emotion. You don't drift into great relationships, you build them intentionally. In your career, choosing discipline means being excellent when no one's watching. It means being early, prepared, focused. It means doing the hard work that others avoid, the kind that doesn't pay off immediately, but always pays off eventually. It means training, improving, learning, when it's uncomfortable, when it's inconvenient, when it doesn't get recognition. Because you're not doing it for applause, you're doing it for who you become in the process. Discipline is a choice, a muscle, a mindset, and like any muscle, it gets stronger the more you use it. Every time you choose to follow through instead of flaking out, every time you choose to rise early instead of sleep late, every time you honor your word to yourself, you build internal strength, you build integrity. You build a life you won't have to apologize for. I will add value to others. These words carry weight far beyond motivation. They define a way of living. In a world where so many are focused on getting, taking, collecting, and climbing, this statement flips the script. It's not about what the world can give to you, but what you can give to the world. And the amazing thing is this: the more value you add to others, the more valuable your life becomes, not just in reputation or income, but in purpose, meaning, and fulfillment. Adding value doesn't always mean grand gestures. It's not about waiting until you have $1 million or a global platform. It starts with your presence, your attention, your kindness, your skills, what you already have in your hands. Every person you meet today has a need. Some need encouragement, some need guidance, some just need someone to really listen. When you begin your day by saying, "I will add value to others," you position yourself as a giver, a contributor, a builder. You walk into every room with the intention to lift the room up, not drain it. This mindset transforms how you interact with the world. In your job, instead of simply showing up for the paycheck, you ask, "How can I solve a problem today? How can I make someone's life easier? How can I exceed expectations, not just meet them?" That's what separates professionals from amateurs, leaders from workers, remembered names from forgotten ones. People who consistently add value rise, because value cannot be ignored. It draws attention. It builds trust. It creates opportunity. In your relationships, this idea changes everything. Instead of approaching your spouse, your children, your friends, asking, "What can they do for me?" you begin to ask, "What can I give them today that they need but aren't asking for?" Maybe it's patience when they're overwhelmed. Maybe it's a moment of undivided attention. Maybe it's support, affirmation, or just a little more grace than usual. You stop keeping score, because when your mission is to add value, giving becomes the reward in itself. This principle applies to strangers just as much as to loved ones. Holding the door open, offering a smile, giving a genuine compliment. These things may seem small, but they carry great weight in a world where people are often unseen and unheard. You never know the ripple effect a single kind gesture can create. You might be the only person who speaks life to someone who is on the edge of quitting a dream, quitting a job, even quitting on themselves. When you say, "I will add value to others," you stay open to these moments. It also means showing up prepared to contribute, not just consume. Too many people walk through life looking for what they can extract. They scroll, absorb, critique, demand, without ever contributing something themselves. But the world doesn't move forward because of critics. It moves because of contributors, people who build, who teach, who serve, who sacrifice, who show up. Adding value might mean sharing your ideas. It might mean taking time to mentor someone. It might mean creating something that solves a real problem, even if it's not glamorous. This mind, it also influences how you view your own growth. The better you become, the more you can offer. When you invest in your education, your emotional intelligence, your skills, your spiritual life, your financial understanding, you're not just doing it for you. You're doing it so you can turn around and lift someone else higher. You're doing it so you have something to give when someone needs help. Growth becomes not just personal, it becomes purposeful. You don't need to be rich to add value. You don't need to be famous. You don't need a title or a degree. What you need is intention, a willingness to look outside yourself, a commitment to leave things better than you found them. When this becomes your daily aim, you stop chasing fulfillment, and you start experiencing it. Because fulfillment isn't found in accumulation, it's found in contribution. And here's the paradox: when you add value to others, your own value increases, your influence grows, your impact multiplies. You begin to attract better people, better opportunities, and better outcomes, not because you chase them, but because you became the kind of person who draws them in. You didn't just focus on being successful, you focused on being useful. And in the end, that's what true success looks like. I am responsible for my life. Those 6 words hold the power to radically change the direction of any person's story. In a world where blame is common and excuses are easy, this declaration separates the strong from the stagnant. It draws a clear line between those who live reactively and those who live intentionally. The moment you take full responsibility for your life is the moment you take back your power. You see, responsibility is not about fault, it's about ownership. You may not be responsible for everything that happens to you, but you are absolutely responsible for how you respond. You didn't choose your past, your parents, your pain, but you choose your perspective, your actions, and your attitude. That's what shapes your future. Blame is a trap that keeps you focused on what you can't control. Responsibility shifts the focus back to what you can control. Your thoughts, your choices, your habits, your responses. This mindset is not always easy to embrace. It means no more hiding behind circumstances, no more saying I can't because of my boss, or my spouse won't support me, or the economy is bad, or I didn't have the same advantages. The moment you shift your thinking from why is this happening to me, to what can I do with this, you begin to move forward. Life stops being something that happens to you and becomes something you are actively shaping. Responsibility gives you leverage. It gives you options. Because when you believe that your decisions matter, that your actions have weight, you start to act differently. You stop waiting to be rescued. You stop hoping someone else will change your life. You realize that your goals, your health, your relationships, your success, they are not dependent on someone else doing the right thing. They are waiting on you to make the next move. When you wake up and say, I am responsible for my life, you take charge of your habits. You stop saying, I'm just not a morning person, and start asking, what kind of person do I need to become to reach my goals? You stop making decisions based on how you feel and start making them based on who you're committed to becoming. You create structure, discipline, and clarity, not because it's easy, but because you've stopped outsourcing your progress to chance or circumstance. In your finances, responsibility means no more blaming your income, your upbringing, or your job. It means learning, budgeting, investing, taking ownership of every dollar that enters and exits your hands. It means understanding that wealth is not just about how much you make, but about how wisely you manage what you have. Nobody is coming to fix it for you, but the moment you say, I am responsible, you stop waiting and start building. In your health, it means not blaming age, genetics, or the schedule. It means taking control of your sleep, your nutrition, your activity level, your stress. It means recognizing that no one else can eat clean for you, move your body for you, or care about your well-being more than you do. You can hire a trainer, get a doctor, follow a plan, but in the end, the responsibility is still yours. Every bite, every step, every habit adds up. You don't control the outcomes, but you do control the inputs. In your relationships, it means owning your part, not pointing fingers, not keeping score, but being the kind of person you want to be with. It means listening better, loving deeper, speaking honestly. It means apologizing when you're wrong and forgiving when you're hurt, not because the other person deserves it, but because you refuse to carry the weight of resentment. Responsibility doesn't make you weak, it makes you free. Even your emotions fall under this umbrella. You may not control what emotions show up, but you control what you do with them. Whether you let anger run wild or choose to pause and breathe. Whether you feed fear or step forward with courage. Whether you stay stuck in negativity or shift your focus to gratitude. Responsibility doesn't mean perfection. It means refusing to be a victim. It means acknowledging your power and choosing to use it wisely. And in your growth, responsibility is the fuel. No one else can read the books, go to the workshops, have the conversations, or do the inner work for you. If you want to get better, you must decide that it's your job, not your partner's, not your boss's, not society's. Your growth is your responsibility. Your results are your responsibility. Your happiness, your peace, your legacy. It all begins with this daily declaration.